In the khutbah, Imam Shabbir Hassan spoke about the importance of improving ourselves every day.
Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran, do you know what He says? He says that He firstly warns us to have taqwa and to be conscious of Him, but then He says, وَلْتَنْظُرْ نَفْسٌ مَا قَدَّمَتْ لِغَدٍ. He says, let each and every soul, let each and every individual prepare for ghad. You know the word ghad in the Arabic language, do you know what it means? It means tomorrow, the next day. But what is this in reference to? It's not talking about tomorrow, like today is Friday, tomorrow is Saturday. No. Allah is actually speaking and referring to the day of judgment, Yawm al-Qiyamah. But how does Allah refer to Yawm al-Qiyamah? He calls it what? Ghad, tomorrow. Showing how close the day of judgment is. It's as if it's coming just tomorrow. There's no guarantee. So what are we taught? Are we taught to think, no, we have long lives ahead? You know, may Allah give us good and healthy and long lives. I mean, but, you know, is that the way we should be wishful all the time? No. We should think, you know, I have a very, very short life ahead. I need to do as much as I can. I don't need to wait. I need to better myself from now. That's what we're taught. And you know, there's this one really powerful hadith and narration of the Prophet ﷺ. And in fact, he was addressing his companions and he told them a story. And every time I read this story, whether I'm teaching it, whether I'm just reading it, whether I'm studying it, regardless, right? Every time I read the story, it gets to me every single time. And it's a very famous qissa, famous story. And the Prophet ﷺ, he was addressing the companions and he said, you know, before you, there was a man. Before you, there was a man. And this man, he had committed the worst of sins. This man, he had killed and taken the lives of 99 innocent people. 99 innocent people, this man took their lives. He didn't take the life of 1, 2, 3 people or dozens of people, which is bad enough as it is, but he took the lives of 99 people. But this man reached a stage in his life where he decided, you know, I need to do something because of course, like what I've done is wrong and I regret my actions, so therefore I need to change, I need to do something now. So he inquires and he asks about, you know, a knowledgeable person, an alim in the land that he is in. But someone directs him to a rahib, you know, a monk, someone who's a pious worshipper, not an alim. And anyway, he goes to this monk, a pious individual, and asks, look, this is the scenario. You know, I've killed 99 people, and I want to turn back to Allah. Is there any tawbah for me? Like, will Allah accept my tawbah? Will Allah, you know, allow me to turn back to Him? And this man, because he wasn't an alim, you know, he didn't have knowledge. Yeah, he was worshipping Allah, but he said, la, he said, no. There's no way back for you, basically. So do you know what this man did? He killed him as well. He killed the monk. And from 99, he's now completed 100. He's got 100 now. People that he's innocently taken the lives of. But of course, he still knows it's wrong. So he carries on and he inquires again. Show me, direct me towards, you know, a person of knowledge, an alim. So finally, he is directed towards an alim, you know, someone with knowledge, someone with wisdom. And he asks this man, he says, look, this is the scenario. I've taken the lives of now 100 people, innocent lives. Is there any tawbah? Is there any way back for me? And guess what the alim says? He doesn't say, no, how dare you even, you know, come to me with that much sin. Doesn't say, you know, be ashamed of yourself. He says, who can come in between you and tawbah? Who can come in between you and Allah? Nothing can stop you. So this man, he has hope now, you know. He thinks, wow, even though I've done all of that, I still have some hope. Because he still has life, remember, yeah? He's still living. There's still some hope for him. But the alim says, look, if you really want to change, it's not enough for you to just say, yes, I want to change. It's not enough for you to say, okay, tomorrow. He says, no. What you need to do, you need to pack your bags right now. You need to get yourself ready right now. You need to leave this land, the land that you're in. Because the land that you're in, you know, it's a bad environment. And you need to leave this place of sin where you've taken so many lives. Leave this place and you need to travel and go towards a land where the people are worshipping Allah. The people are worshipping Allah in this land. He specified the land to the man and said, go there, travel there and join them in worshipping Allah. So what does this man do? immediately he packs his bags, and he has, something that we call azam. You have something called niyyah, yeah? Everyone has a niyyah, everyone has an intention to do something. Yeah, I want to do this, I want to do that. But azam is where that intention, it transforms into action now. Where you're not going to let anything or anyone stop you. That's azam. It's called determination, when you're resolute. So that's what this man had. And he packed his bags and he left, and he was ready to go towards the land where people are worshipping Allah, and he's ready to start worshipping Allah now. He's ready to do tawbah, and he's ready to turn back to Allah. But what happens? Halfway through, he's on the path now, he's traveling. Halfway through this route, death comes to this man. The angel of death comes and takes his soul, and this man's life comes to an end. So you'd think the hadith maybe stops here and that's the end of the story, like the man, there's no hope for him. No, this hadith doesn't stop there. Actually, it gets even more interesting now. Something amazing happens. The angels of rahmah, of mercy, they come down. But at the same time, the angels of adhab and punishment, they also come down. And each one of them is ready to take the life of this man, to decide his fate. Is this man going to Jannah, or is this man going to Jahannam? And they're arguing with one another, the two groups of angels. They're arguing. And they're saying, no, the angels of rahmah, of mercy, they're saying, no, this man, he came ta'iban, he came in the state of repentance, he was going with the intention, the azam, and he was ready to change. And the angels of adhab, of punishment, they're saying, this man has never, ever, done any good deed in his life. The only thing he's done is evil and vice and sin, nothing else. And they're arguing. Then Allah sends another angel down. This angel comes down in the form of a human being and comes as an arbitrator to judge and decide between the two. And this angel says, okay, we have to now decide, is this man going to Jannah or Jahannam? Okay, death has come to him. So he says, in order to decide, measure the distance between the land which this man has just left, the place of sin, and between the land which he is going towards, i.e. the place of good, the place of Allah's worship. If he is closer to the land which he is left, then the angels of punishment, you can take his soul. If he's closer to the land which he is going towards, the place of good, the place of ibadah, then the angels of rahmah, you can take his soul. And then the angels, they begin measuring between the two lands. And subhanAllah, guess what they find? They find there are different riwayat and different narrations to this hadith, but they find that this man was closer to the land that he was going towards, the land of good, the land of ibadah and worship, by one shibr, a handspan. Just by one handspan, that's all. And in other narrations it says that he was closer just by one side of his body touching the other land. Just about, he managed to be closer to the land that he was going towards. So what happened? That the angels of mercy, of rahmah, they took his soul, فَغُفِرَ لَهُ, and Allah forgave all of his sins. Subhanallah. Allah forgave his sins. Allah forgave them. Even though what? Did he, was it just, here and there maybe he said a few bad words to someone, here and there maybe he disobeyed his parents, here and there he done some ghiba and backbiting. No, this man did the worst of sins and deeds. But there was still hope. Do you know why? Do you know why there was hope for this man? Because, the only reason was because of his actions. His actions. He showed Allah, I am ready to change. He didn't just say it. Because I'll tell you this, if this man sat there in the land that he was in, and he said, okay, inshallah, tomorrow I'm going to go and change, and I'm going to go to that land. If he said that, and then death came to him in that state, I highly doubt that the angels, there would have even been an argument in the first place. The angels of punishment would have taken his soul. If he said, inshallah, I'm going to. But rather, he showed Allah that I am ready to change. I'm ready. And he packed his bags and he was going towards the ibadah, the worship, And that's when death came, and that's why there was this argument in the first place. So now when we take a step back, and we really think and we reflect, that look, yes, we've committed sins, we've made mistakes. May Allah forgive us for these mistakes. We commit these sins every single day. But the thing is, we're not on the level of this man. Yeah, this man, most people would think, this man has no hope. He's gone to the point of no return. We haven't got to that stage. But that means there's hope for us as well. If there was hope for this man, what we learn, the reason why the Prophet ﷺ gave this example, to show the Sahaba radiallahu anhum that, look, you're not on the level of this man, so there's hope for all of you. Every single one of you sitting here, there is hope. But that hope can't just stay in your heart as a niyyah, as a thought. No, it has to translate into action. Whereby we can't now keep saying that inshallah, inshallah. No, we can't keep saying this. Just a funny thing, by the way, that recently on social media, if you're following, there's this thing, right, that everyone's posting on social media. It's called the 10-year challenge. And people are posting a picture of themselves 10 years ago, and then a picture of themselves now, 10 years later, and comparing, right? But if you take this concept of 10-year challenge, and think about it yourselves, okay, 10 years ago, what state was I in? Compare yourself. 10 years ago, okay, if I knew Surah An-Nas, Surah Al-Falaq, Surah Al-Ikhlas 10 years ago, have I memorized anything new now? And if the answer is yes, then alhamdulillah. If the answer is no, then there's a big problem now. We know the same surahs from 10 years ago. Have I grown spiritually? Have I developed over the 10 years? If the answer is no, then we need to ask ourselves, and we need to really reflect now. And we need to think, or is it just the fact that, 10 years ago I had less money, and now I have more money. 10 years ago I only had one child, and now I have two children. No, that's all good, alhamdulillah. We should aim and strive to be the best we can in this dunya, but for the akhirah, for ourselves, for our hereafter, we really need to reflect, and we really need to better ourselves. So this is what we should take away, that let our thoughts, our intentions, our words translate into a'mal and into actions, so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will consider this, and so that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will enter us into His mercy, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give us the best in this life and the best in the hereafter. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept our actions. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us all the best in this life and the best in the hereafter. And we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to allow us all to change ourselves first and foremost, and to be a means of change and benefit for the people around us. وأقول قولي هذا وأستغفر الله لي ولكم ولسائر المسلمين من كل ذنب فاستغفروه إنه هو الغفور الرحيم.